All right, welcome back. Eternal Extravaganza number 6 in Baltimore. I'm Joe Marucci, and this is
Ulysses, hey
heard,
everybody.
heard of that guy before. Got a couple of fun things going on. So we're going to start our giveaways.
Giveaways, free stuff.
Free
We
stuff
talked about
from
free stuff.
Dex Protection for protecting your decks. All
All
right.
the products we looked at before, you maybe remember me hugging this one. I kind of want it. Whoever wins it, come find me.
Ely might actually even sign that if you request it.
Ooh,
There,
fancy. Sell it on eBay.
there you go. So it's got to be worth at least 50 cents more with Ely's signature on it, right?
I'd be
So
flattered if that was the case. I just keep writing my signature to make money. Why not, right?
seems pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with an Ely reference. He talked about a specific card earlier. Do you want to give him the details?
Sure. So we're going to ask questions, and you guys can go on Twitter and respond on the Tales of Adventure link, which is hashtag EE6MTG at TOAMagic.com.
Yes.
And we're going to try to figure out the answer to this question. What obscure card have I mentioned on the stream that is from Alliances specifically?
And it may or may not be red.
Yes, I like how we have to specify because I've mentioned so many obscure cards. This is actually a game we play with my locals sometimes. They're always like, oh, what card is Ely talking about now? So it's kind of fun to play it on camera, too.
We can actually play that one at least 3 times today because I have at least 3 in my mind of obscure
at least,
cards.
At least.
Yeah, at least
let's
3.
let's say that we're not talking about the one from Torment, though.
Okay.
Which I think a lot of people will think of when we say red.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an older red card too, but
It
it's
is. Not that one.
Not that one.
No.
All right, so go on Twitter and find that link and let us know what you think. And
Do we want to go further? Should we tell them that it might have seen a good bit of play in vintage?
Ooh, back in the day, vintage. All right,
Well, it did. It definitely did.
it
you
did.
know?
It did. Okay, we'll give them that. Let's not give them any more though. We need to make sure they're paying attention.
People pay attention?
What?
I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, I actually talked about going out and kind of scouting a little bit last round with Calvin taking my spot and making me look very, very sexy as a beautiful, beautiful dreadlocked man. But saw some interesting stuff out there, and we're going to get one of those on camera right now because I think it was a pretty awesome deck. There's at least 2 of them out there. One of them looks like they're locked up for top 8, which we'll get that one on for top 8.
I'm happy we got elves last round. I'll take miracles this round if I must.
Well, it's going to be, as far as I know, as long as everything's going our way, we're going to get to see some 12-post Eldrazi.
Ooh, 12-post Eldrazi.
12-post. It's the large Eldrazi.
Wow.
So we got to see some awesome plays.
I actually can't wait to see this spicy list.
It's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You're an Eldrazi player in Legacy, so you're
Just
gonna
not
tell
that
me,
one.
I
Not
know.
that one.
You're going to tell me if you think this is better or worse.
Well, I wouldn't play it, but
So worse.
no, it doesn't make it worse. I mean, just not my style of play.
I don't know. That's a pretty strong sentence. I wouldn't play it.
I wouldn't.
If I'm reading into it, and that's what I do,
Hmm.
I'm thinking you think it's worse.
No, I'm not saying it's worse. Different. I wouldn't play Miracles at a tournament either. So,
Okay. That's a fair argument.
I mean, I have, but not well.
Yeah.
Not a big tournament. Not
Sure.
something where I want to actually try to do
Sure, you
something.
didn't have a good time doing it.
Is that deck ever a fun time?
No.
Okay. No, you know what? I think I did because I played it during that brief period of time where it had energy field in it.
Oh, okay. That list was a little different, yeah.
It was the early on stuff. There was still Helm of Obedience.
It was nice when you would play against Dredge and turn 2, game 1, play Recipes, and they'd be like, come on.
That may or may not have happened to me on the other side of that table.
Yeah?
I definitely,
Oh.
I spent some time playing some Dredge. I don't know. I think everybody does at some
Did
point.
you recover eventually?
I did. I tried to actually cast spells, paying mana costs.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves a chance.
Everybody. It's like the kids with cancer, like we were talking about earlier.
Aw.
It's people breaking into Legacy playing
St.
Dredge.
Jude's, guys. Come on. If you want to give to an organization, that's the one.
There's a lot of great places out there. So,
Yeah, there are.
yeah.
And they need our help.
Yep. A lot of great charities, foster kids,
Yeah.
cancer, all sorts of things that you can help with.
So we're going to have deck lists coming up pretty soon.
There
Here
are
we
deck
go.
lists.
Let's see here. You want to take this one? I'll take this one.
Okay.
We have Gonzalo Peralta over here.
Which is with our 12 post list.
Yep. And Matthew Voop.
This is awesome. This is the type of match that I really would love to see on camera here.
Well, tell us about your list first.
All right, so we got some Chalice of the Void action, some Knight of the Reliquaries, some Dark Confidant, Scatic Teague, Scavenging Ooze, Deathrite Shaman, Abrupt Decay, Punishing Fire. It's basically like a punishing 4-color. Yeah, pretty awesome spicy. Well, I mean, I guess this was kind of a deck for a while.
I think they call it Punishing Abzan, I think is the name for it.
All right.
So that way you know it's splashing red and
for
Abzan
punishing
type theme. What I think is great about this one is we haven't seen Chalice of the Void yet, and that's a big staple in Legacy. Mm-hmm. Legacy is its best format. Yes. More so than any other format.
Well, because a lot of spells at one.
Or one, right. Yep. It's the 1 mana cost format. So Chalice of the Void, it's such a beating in this format.
Yep.
So we're finally going to get to see it on camera, and we're going to see how it matches up. Unfortunately for Matthew, he's playing a Chalice of the Void deck against a deck that tries to add 1 billion mana.
Okay, we're ready to roll into it.
So it's going to pop up now. Here we go.
All right.
Oh, by the way, winner of this is in the top 8, we think.
Possibly.
5-1-1, possibly.
We're right there. We're at that cusp.
Right on the border.
So the unfortunate thing for the 12-post players, he is also playing against Life from the Loam.
Ooh,
and 4 Wastelands.
And Wasteland.
Right.
Yeah. So he probably has Pithing Needle, though, I'd imagine. No, not in the main deck. So that's going to be rough. And then in the sideboard...
Oh, here it is. There it is, Ely. You got it. You got what you asked for.
Ooh, my turn 1 Chalice.
And Gonzalo is going to go in for a Brainstorm.
He doesn't have Pithing Needle on the sideboard either. It's not in this list.
He says, I don't care about Wasteland.
Wow.
He must have known a lot of people were going to be on that 4-color control list with no Wastelands or Delvers.
He could cheat it in with Show and Tell.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's an out, but
yes,
it's going to be rough.
Yep. Oh, and all right, so we countered the Chalice of the Void. I think for the 12-post list, obviously having crop rotation and access to it is something that he definitely wants.
Looking at the list, he has Brainstorm, crop rotation, Sensei's Top, Candelabra. Looks like 12 count in total, so a fifth of his deck. You really don't want a fifth of your deck to be shut down.
It's generally pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at 3 mana for Punishing Abzan.
I think Punishing Abzan is firing on all cylinders. Turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 Bob. He had the option of going Lily or Green Sun, too.
Jeez.
I'm surprised he didn't Lily. That seems like a really good turn 2 follow-up.
Absolutely, especially against something like 12-post that doesn't play a whole ton of threats.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually, one big, nasty, giant monster.
My thought is he didn't want to discard anything, but I'm looking at Loam in his hand, so...
I wouldn't mind discarding Loam.
That seems like what you want to be doing.
So Gonzalo, like I said, I watched a little bit in last round. He was very, very careful with the way he took his lines. So I'm very interested to see how this works out. Something that I don't think this matchup is necessarily.
Here it comes.
There. You can't put in Liliana, right?
So here's where I'd love to be playing my Dark Confidant.
Right. All right.
Oh.
That.
So he doesn't know what his opponent is doing. It sounds like
prime timing.
That's prime time.
That's
the promo one.
Promo prime time. Deion Sanders in the flesh. And so Wasteland, if you can only play 1 a turn, and Gonzalo is getting 2 lands a turn, he probably still profits and gets ahead.
The nice thing about Liliana last turn would have been like 1 less card in the hand.
Yes.
Now you can use the sack ability on the Prime Titan, and you're probably like okay to recover. He can still play the Liliana and use the sack ability.
It's just not as good now.
Right.
Especially with Gonzalo so far ahead now on mana.
Yeah, well, Matt didn't really need to try to get ahead on cards. He needed to prevent Gonzalo from getting to that threshold of mana. And now that Gonzalo's there, he's got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana available to him. He can start hard casting some pretty dangerous spells.
Yeah, there's probably aliens coming.
Yep. Oh, I saw a crop rotation in his hands. He's already got 10 mana, and he could theoretically get another 2 mana bump with crop.
Right.
So he's pretty close to Emrakul even.
Yes. And he does, in fact, have an Eye of Ugin, right?
So he can tutor up Eye of Ugin and start activating it.
Seems pretty good to me.
Definitely. And even just getting Ulamog Ceaseless Hunter is going to be super good.
Exile 2 your things all the time.
Especially when your opponent's stuck on 2 mana as it is.
All right. And what do we see? Oh, repeal.
Repeal. Oh, you know what I would love to see him do is turn 1, repeal that Mox Diamond.
Yeah, the Mox,
oh,
absolutely.
That's such a fun play.
Enjoy your card disadvantage while I draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, not looking too bad for Gonzalo here. It's certainly not... he's not out of the woods by any stretch, though.
Right. It's going to probably still be close.
Yep. There we got 4 mana. Green Sun for 3.
So based on how Gonzalo played this, though, he can't go get Ayalugan and tutor. And Knight of the Reliquary with Wastelands on a loam is going to start getting
starts eating away. Yeah, absolutely.
So Gonzalo, I think, needs a top deck quick.
Yes, he needs to do something. Well, if nothing else, it's been a long time since I've seen, a Knight of the Reliquary hanging out. So it's really cool to see Knight.
So it looks like he did crop rotate. What's he getting? We have his list here. Seagate Wreckage. Yeah, Seagate Wreckage. Looking to get some card advantage.
That's awesome.
Spicy. I didn't expect to see it actually work.
Yeah.
You're playing that in your Eldrazi list?
No.
Really? Some of us have seen run it.
Yeah. We'll see how it works out here for Gonzalo.
Looks like he drew a Glimmer Post and a Caracas?
Yes, he does have Caracas in the list for bouncing his own Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger.
Kind of unfortunate for him. He drew 2 lands. Can't activate the Seagate Wreckage. Although he could if Liliana gets ticked up.
There you go. Yeah, for when you run out of gas.
Unfortunately for him, double Wasteland is probably coming this turn.
Right. Yep, there's probably the first one. Yep, there it is. Eternal Masters Wasteland. Not a big fan of that art.
I like the subtle diss. Oh, it's Eternal Masters. Yeah.
No bueno.
Just no good.
Yes, we're snobby. I'm sorry.
Yep. I like how Gonzalo was hiding his cloud posts.
Yeah, like, no, you can't have that one.
Yep.
You have the Glimmer posts on top.
They all say Locust. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, same thing. All right, Light from the Loam.
Not activating Liliana first is interesting here.
Who knows? Maybe he thinks he's safe with having just the Caracas.
Like, opponent has Counterspell, for instance. Hardcast Force of Will, just... And then he does it afterwards. Interesting.
Yeah. Wasteland. Take out your other one. Things not looking so great now.
I feel like Gonzalo should have drawn in response to that. Could have drew a crop rotation.
Right. Yeah, and he has green mana.
Counter that Wasteland.
And Dark Confidant.
Things are not looking good for 12 posts, which is strange. He started out so strong.
Yeah, well, I mean, it didn't look great for him until he had the show and tell anyway, but he's not anywhere near dead.
I mean, when you play a turn 3 Primeval Titan and your opponent doesn't put anything into play,
yeah,
that's what we call a good start.
It is. It is. There's a couple of jokes that end like that, though, too.
Oh, yeah. I was referencing them.
Okay. Lawyers buried up to their necks in sand. Yeah. All right, Baron Moore, Light from the Loam. I mean, now he has a draw engine as well, too, with his Baron Moore, Light from the Loam.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say this one's over.
You never know. No, hold on. 2 Wastelands, again, could...
Yeah. I mean, I guess you technically never know, but in this case, I think we both know.
Well, here's the question. So, though, at this point, does he hit the blue source?
Seagate Wreckage, I think, first. Lets you keep using Lily.
Right.
And then your second ability, take out the drop.
Yep. Yeah, I think you got to hit the blue.
Why does he keep playing this before using his Lily?
Just to irritate you.
Yeah, I think he is. He's probably like Ely, tilting Ely. That's why we're doing this. many players, they don't win as much as they probably like to because of sequencing. So
Sure.
you guys at home, figure out the best way to sequence.
And he didn't take out the blue either.
Yeah.
He has zero fear of having a show and tell cast again.
Well, I don't think Matt has played against 12 post much. He doesn't know that cloud posts come into play tapped anyway.
Right.
There's no real point in hitting the glimmer posts. Taking your opponent off of green is actually more important. Things like this. Didn't even look at the card?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't need to. It
was Emrakul. little ways off from that.
Yeah.
All right, so if we are Matthew, he could bring in Swords to Plowshares. It does give his opponent a whole lot of life, but again, they're dealing usually with single threats.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he wants to be doing.
Chainer's Edict, though, would definitely come in.
Yeah, you could. Ghost Quarter is definitely coming in.
Sure. Deluge, I don't think does him a whole lot of good.
No, you don't want to pay 15 life.
Nope.
Regulation Sage can be decent.
Sure. I mean, if he's hitting the Candelabra.
Right. And he also doesn't know what sideboard cards are going to come in.
Right. And there's a Garrick Relentless. Would you bring that one in?
No, that one's for control.
Sure. I don't know. It seems really good.
Over here in Gonzalo's list, he could bring in a Surgical, which I think he should. He could bring in Bajuka Bog. That's okay. Bring in Thought-Knot Seers.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's a spicy one. I don't think I would, but it's there.
I definitely think that you would be bringing in the Surgical, though.
Yeah. Surgical seems like the easiest one. Bajuka Bog seems like the maybe. After that, there's not much in his sideboard I like. So it's going to be a loose sideboard here.
Yeah.
We might just see a reenactment of Game 1. But Matt's hand there was really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he won't sustain that kind of pressure again. We'll see.
Yeah. I just want to see another Primeval Titan.
I do love Primeval Titan. It's pretty great. I'm actually surprised it's banned in EDH.
Really? The card's busted in EDH.
Yeah. I mean,
come on.
There's ways to, just win.
Yeah.
You're like Primeval Titan.
Like Primeval Titan. Yeah. Putting 2 lands in is usually, believe it or not, just enough right there.
I think if they wanted to ban stuff, there's a lot of other things that are perfectly good targets for them to ban.
You know what the thing is, though? It was just so redundant. You couldn't play a green deck without playing Primeval Titan.
You can. Yeah, you don't actually need it, which is why I'm also surprised it's banned. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I play Prosh. I think that General should just be banned. It is way too good.
See, I only ever had 2 EDH decks, and one of them was set up for one-on-one, so I played Zur.
Yeah, that's a good one for one-on-one.
Yeah. Not as fun in a multiplayer format.
So I like Prosh because one-on-one or multiplayer, deck's just good to go. Deck is too powerful. You just kill somebody with your General right after you cast it. You can play your General on turn 3. It's resilient to counter magic. It just has so many different combo wins. Just too good.
So remember, we do have a question that we asked that we will have the winner for at the end of this round, and that is, what obscure card, as Ely mentioned, that is red, was played in Vintage, and is from Alliances?
Yes. That's enough clues. I don't think they need more. And remember, you have to go to the Twitter site for Tales of Adventure, which is the hashtag E6MTG at TOAMagic.com. And that's where you go to post your answers and possibly win free stuff. Again, remember this awesome deck box. That's such a nice color. Superman color, I believe you referred to it
Well,
as.
yeah, but it's got red on the inside.
Yeah,
there.
it's
beautiful.
Which way does it open?
I would say that you would be bananas
Ooh.
to not want that.
Yeah, which is a funny reference because there's no banana color on this one.
Oh. No, I'm just saying you would be bananas
to not want
that.
Okay, looks like we're drawing our hands for game 2.
Right.
Let's see what happens.
Looks like a Dryad Arbor hand.
Yeah, you do not want Dryad Arbor, but he has Mox Diamond to pitch it.
There you go.
He could probably accelerate into something. It looks like Green Sun, Swords, and a Knight of the Reliquary.
That is just such a non-bow to have the Green Suns and the Dryad Arbor, though, in the start.
Yeah, you don't love having that, but I think he's going to keep, because turn 2 Knight of the Reliquary could just present lethal.
Sure.
And that lethal being a wasteland every turn against a deck that needs a non-basic land to function.
Correct. You got it. So Gonzalo going to 6.
Still impressed that Gonzalo 5-1-1 with no answer to wasteland in a Cloud Post deck. I think that just tells you so many people are off wasteland.
Right.
And we've seen a lot of them on camera, Delverless Delver decks without Wasteland, just doing a control strategy.
Another thing this is telling you, though, too, is, and something we haven't seen at all, no Blood Moon strategy.
Yeah.
Not at all.
This has been an odd tournament.
Well, I mean, with Miracles being such a basics-heavy deck, really invalidates a lot of that strategy.
It's true.
Although a lot of times the Blood Moon decks could also be the Chalice decks.
Yeah.
Which Chalice decks aren't terrible against Miracles.
And then there's the Chalice Blood Moon decks.
Right. Exactly.
But we also have a price dip in Blood Moon now from this most recent reprint.
But you know what? It was never a very expensive card until recently anyway. So.
Well, there was a point where they were like 50s.
Yes.
So that was surprising. But yeah, now it's back down to earth, and
so
people still aren't playing it.
Easy Wasteland start.
I think that's where he wants to be. It even buys him another turn to have like a good action spell.
Sure.
So he can like Mox land into something like Dark Confidant he would want to do.
Right. So I think he's just debating as to whether or not he wanted to play his Mox or not.
Gotcha. I played a list a lot like Matthew's list here, Punishing Amzan, in a Star City Open one time, and I'm well known for it because it's in the highlight reel. I lost in the finals to Alex playing High Tide. And it's game 3. He has no hand left. He has 6 basic islands on the table, and he's dead next turn to my creatures. And he cracks a fetch, shuffles, presents it for a cut. I go, no cut. And he draws, and it's one of the last 2 time spirals in his deck, and he goes off and kills me.
And we got your play.
Oh, all right.
We repealed the
Mox Diamond. Sweet, sweet. So...
yeah, that's pretty sick, actually.
It was a lot of fun, and I still get teased about it to this day. People are copied the link, posted it on my Facebook, and said, shoulda cut.
Wow. You know what would have only have been the savage thing to happen there, though, if you would have cut it right to the other one.
Oh, I know, right?
How would you know?
Like, random is random, right?
Right. We're not talking about, like, bent foil accumulated knowledges here. I mean, like...
yeah. What was cool after that event was Candelabra went from like $40 to $50 to $300.
Yeah, was that New Jersey?
It was.
That was New Jersey. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That was that event there was really rough because I think that was the time where the tables were really, really bad.
They were.
And there was no more play mats at Star City. I was actually working for Star City at that event.
And the chairs were really bad too.
They were all terrible. They were 100% terrible.
That is the danger sometimes when there's an event in Jersey.
And the standard portion. The reporter went down, and there was like 2 hours. Yeah, exactly. Jeff's over there. I remember it well. That was a rough 2 hours of waiting for all of that stuff to be manually put back in. It was terrible.
Yeah, and you just know the players are get very cranky when that sort of thing happens.
Oh, a lot of people dropped right after that. I mean, lost a lot of people. So Igniter the Reliquary there from Matthew. Gonzalo does have his island. Is it just one island in his list?
It looks like
one island, one forest. Okay. So he's going to top. So we could see a crop rotation for a shuffle at some point, possibly.
Like, Gonzalo has to set up a show and tell play. Yes. Otherwise, lights out again. Cyclonic Rift, he's buying a turn.
Yeah, I watched him actually Cyclonic Rift against Miracles.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was lifting the entire table. All right, Green Sun Zenith.
Just another
night?
Night, right? What else does he get? Let's see.
Reclamation Sage, night. It's night.
Yeah, just another night. What's better than night?
Yeah.
I play Nightfall in Modern, pretty well known for it. Knight of the Reliquary is the best card in the deck. Without it, wouldn't be playing the deck. It is so good.
Nice.
Nothing better than playing a turn 2 Knight as a 4/4. You're just like, I got this.
It's got to be pretty confident if you're doing
even
that.
if you get Path, you're like, sweet, still 2 for 1.
Nice. All right, so Gonzalo draws the best out of the next 3. And he's looking for a way to make this happen.
Yeah, he knows that he has to do this quick and soon, otherwise death is coming for him.
Right. In the form of many wastelands.
Mm-hmm.
Digging.
Here's where Pothing Needle just needs to be in 12 post.
Right. Well, I'm sure at this point, too, he's just really upset that he didn't get the Miracles matchup again.
Probably.
You know. So we now have, is that Ghost Quarter? Ghost Quarter and Active Night.
So I don't know that he'll use Ghost Quarter on anything relevant yet, but he's certainly going to set up for a lock with Loam in that soon.
Well, here's a Chalice on 1. Resolves.
Dark Confidant as well.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, this seems
Bash
like
for a bunch.
where he wants to be. No, he's not attacking.
Oh.
Come on, let's get real here. Wasteland locking.
Oh, poor Gonzalo.
Yeah, I do feel bad for him.
No, you don't, because he doesn't have Pithing Needle.
I mean, now he can't
Is it Pithing Needle or Pithing Needle for you?
I've heard it pronounced 50 million ways.
Pithing. It's like Umezawa's Jite, Jit, Yite, Yit, I don't know, you hear 90,000. Jitty? You said Jitty earlier.
Oh, I know. What really grinds my gears sometimes is when somebody, I know, right? When somebody gets super offended about the pronunciation of something, when depending on where you are globally, it has a different pronunciation.
Right. Like Yoshi the Morningstar? No, it's Yosei.
You should have said, that's what you say.
That's what, and I thought I was going to be the punny one. You know what really grinds my gears?
That's a good impression.
Thank you.
This one of Devastation Tide from the Miracle is pretty funny.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how Matthew recovers. Mock Simon's getting bounced again. There's no Forest or Plains to replay the Knight. And if he doesn't have a land in hand, can't even replay the Mocks.
That's rough, actually.
Looks like Swords and Knight in hand. So he probably, all he can do is Dark Confidant to recover from this.
Well, I mean, drawing 2 cards a turn doesn't seem like the worst place to be in the world.
Definitely not the worst. What I'd like to see from Gonzalo is him playing something really techy, like Walking Ballista.
There you go.
His deck actually can add a lot of mana.
That'd be pretty darn good in his deck.
I think so too.
Does he play a Basilisk Collar?
Not to mention, you can Eye of Ugin for it. It's funny, as I was saying Ugin, I was like, how do I pronounce this? Ugin? Ugin?
Ted Nugent, actually. No, it's Ted Nugent. He comes out, he shoots things with a bow and arrow.
I mean, that's the way I would do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is he thinking about Ghost Quartering himself for a Forest so he can play Knight again? Or do you think he's just going to go for this Dark Confidant here?
I don't know. If I was him, I'd be on the Confidant.
Yeah, I think it's the right play.
I mean, I know he has a ton of cards in his hand, but I still think getting your way out of this is going to be... so he had... Oh, it was a Maze of Ith?
Probably drew a Maze of Ith for the turn.
Gotcha. So that seems not bad at all. Chalice, really?
Wow.
I don't know. I think out of things that that Matthew could have did, Gonzalo's probably, even though it cuts off a 5th of his deck, happy that that's it and not the Knight of the Reliquary coming back down.
Probably. I don't mind the Chalice being the choice there, but especially if we know Gonzalo had top on top, that makes sense.
Sure.
Are we going to go with a Liliana now? We certainly have a lot of things in our hand we want to discard. That's why I can't play these types of decks anymore. You just trust so much dead stuff.
Well, you have no way of filtering. You have no Brainstorm.
Yeah, I need Brainstorm in my life.
I understand. All right, so here's the Confidant.
All right, no Lily. Ooh.
Hard cast, Forceful, you can't have that.
That was a pretty foil Forest from EMA, too.
Gonzalo's whole deck is very, very shiny.
Yeah. That island is worth a decent amount.
Is it?
The Trop is FBB.
Is that one of the Judge Islands?
Ones,
yeah. Yeah, those are not inexpensive.
They're like a hundo, I think.
I bet you a large percentage of those are in EDH decks.
Oh, yeah.
Judges love them some EDH. All right.
I wanted to buy a lot of them and switch over to them, but they're hard to find, actually.
Well, yeah, because...
In quantity, that is.
Right. I guess you just have to find some more gurus.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
I knew a couple of people that when gurus first came out, they just kept on like having different names because you had to sign up.
Yeah.
You know, just kept on signing up for people. Yeah.
Well, when Gurus were still in the teens in price-wise, I used them as my cube lands.
Wow.
So Channel Fireball started buying them at 50 plus per, and I was like, it seems like it's time to sell, and I took apart my cube.
Unfortunately, if you still have them now.
Oh, I know, but still, I made like 20 grand off of like a $500 investment. It's crazy.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Don't say that too loud because then investors come in.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, scary investors.
Then they'll go and they'll start buying sheets of cards and
no.
cutting them into
Those are my
NFCs.
sheets. Back off my sheets.
I knew there had to be a way to get you to that point.
Speaking of sheets, and we talked about Ryan McKitty earlier, that is his favorite place.
Yeah. Oh, really? He's a sheets
sheets
aficionado.
Yeah. He'll stop there, not hungry, full tank of gas. He'll be like, "Oh, sheets? Yeah, we're stopping."
Nice. Nice. See, I live in the area where I have both sheets and Wawa within like stone's throw of where I am. So depending on what you want.
That's fortunate.
Yeah. If you want Cheeto covered mac and cheese bites, you go to Sheets.
I once drove an hour out of my way on a tournament to go to a Chipotle.
Wow.
I know, but now I have one that's 3 miles from my house. They opened up a few years ago.
Gotcha.
And it's just so exciting. It's a good time to be alive.
I prefer either Moe's or Qdoba over Chipotle.
I strongly disagree with you, and I think you're now crazy, but
that is fine.
Can respect your decision.
Well, I was just trying to avoid the salmonella. All right, Ely?
Oh, come on now. Was it salmonella? Was that the problem?
Yeah, I think it was,
I thought they had like
or E.
coli. Yeah, E. coli.
E. coli, yeah. I think it was both. They can have it all.
Yeah?
Yeah, they want all the things.
Why not? We'll give them all the things.
Absolutely.
Chipotle is the worst. Run away.
All right, so we see a night activation here. Going to go and tutor up another Wasteland.
More Wasteland.
Donuts.
Right. I wish somebody was playing these 4-color Delverless Delver decks and playing some Night of the Reliquaries. Like,
I would love to see more.
Let's make some white and green in there. Let's lock people out with Wasteland the way we used to do it, the way our fathers did it.
And their fathers' fathers.
Yes.
Now Gonzalo really wants to draw his surgical.
And that way when you lose, you say, "Avenge me." This is one of those awkward situations where you're holding swords and Deathrite, but your Chalice of the Void on one is keeping you from playing them.
Can't do that, yeah.
Nope.
That's why you got to have a singleton, the uncounterable that just got a reprint.
Cavern of Souls?
Cavern of Souls, there you go.
Yeah.
You need to just tutor one of those up with your Knight of the Reliquary, and you can play your Deathrite Shaman.
I mean, that would help a little bit, but I don't think he needs it.
Oh. Sir, I would like to take this land away from you. Now, he's doing it on Gonzalo's turn?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like the land comes into play untapped.
Right.
I'm confused.
He might not know that Gonzalo has a forest,
in his
list.
But still.
He didn't see it yet.
Okay. Like, even if you suspected, he might have another basic.
Not the timing. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, he might be in the draw step, which I think would probably be, not terrible, but...
Matthew's worried about another Devastation Tide.
Gotcha.
You're all good, Matthew. There's just one in his list.
There you go. You can't tell him that.
That old singleton. I can't tell him that. That's true.
No.
Maybe if I yell it really loudly.
You could. Well, that'll probably be possible in top 8, except you'll be able to whisper.
Oh.
Yes.
So I feel like knights are probably big enough that we should just 2-turn clock him.
Just smash.
Smash once, and then it's like, all right, Gonzalo, you're put to the test.
He doesn't have any force to lose at this point to tutor things up.
See, he's loaming main phase. I feel like that should have been a post-combat
loam. Whoa, hold up.
Tried to get him. Didn't work.
Hey.
Like, I might just leave that scrubland in the yard. Make your knights bigger.
Yeah. No, but you want more cards in your hand.
Didn't play the Wasteland.
Interesting.
Maybe going to use up his knights.
Oh, here comes Liliana, that's why. Again, probably figuring the singleton threat.
Discarding Emrakul, getting the shuffle in trigger.
Sure. If he has the Sensei's Divining Top in hand, though, I think he'd probably just discard that.
Yeah, that probably would have been better.
It's not like, although it's not like you're going to cast Emrakul anytime soon.
Nope.
And staring down at Caracas, Emrakul's not so great.
Yep.
You know what I think this Punishing Abzan list needs?
What's that?
Countryside Crusher.
Ooh, the classic. The Badlands with Knight of the Reliquaries has been awkward.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely seems like Gonzalo's just solely on the show and tell plan.
Yeah, I really don't like playing these things out like Gonzalo's doing. It's just kind of like annoyance at this point.
Yeah.
You show and tell at prime time, it just gets eaten by the Liliana. The Knights just eat up the Lansitude of the Wasteland, and then you're back to 0 again.
Right.
And there's no way to draw the right number of things that you need to pull out of this.
No, you would need to draw too many things.
I think if he had a free Vamp Tutor every turn for the rest of the game, he's still losing this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
That's rough.
That is rough. Yeah. Matthew's just that far ahead.
We're actually going to go and test your theory. They're going to stop this, and they are going to, in fact, give him a free Vamp Tutor.
I'll take that bet.
Every turn.
I will. Does he have to lose the 2 life?
No.
All right.
No, it's an improved Vamp Tutor.
Free.
Free.
Gotcha. Kind of like how Chipotle gives free Eagle Eye.
Free, as much as you want. He has a Rune Scar Demon in play that you can't see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But that puts it directly into his hand. That's a much stronger advantage.
Well, I just wanted to try to circumvent the life situation. So
Gotcha.
He show and telled it invisibly. I took invisible things to show and tell all the time. Like,
Good.
oh, this is my brother. We don't see anything. Well, he's imaginary.
Yeah.
His name is Thomas. He eats too much.
I can't tell you how many show and tells I've cast with nothing to put in, just hoping they'd counter it.
Yeah, I guess that would be a line. Or you just end up like, oh yeah, I'm putting this in land.
Yeah.
Nice Banisher Priest.
Extended the hand. All right, we'll see if Matthew sneaks in or not.
Yeah.